Moving to the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics came in last night with identical 15-15 records. Just the most mediocre thing you've ever seen. And the 76ers now are one game above 500, and the Celtics are a game below 500. Joel Embiid, the story out of this one, 41 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and he got some help this time from the alleged number two max player, Tobias Harris. He coming out with 25, and Seth Curry continues his fine play, 26 points. Jaylen Brown, the high man for Boston, with 30 points on 9 for 22. Jason Tatum, 17 points, but just 5 for 14. Drink, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh well, Embiid is the man. Boston is in trouble because we only see the same three names that pop up for Boston: Brown, Tatum, and Smart. Freedom, nice try, but we still know who you are. And then we're looking over here at the 76ers. It's to the point that you made. The same point you made about Giannis. Listen, you know what you're going to get out of Embiid. You just need to know what you're going to get out of Harris and Curry. I think we think those are the second and third guys on the team. And they still missing guys. You know, Tyree Maxey, the court marks of the world. I got that. But that seemed like enough to get the job done. Now, we seen the other night, as I was talking about on Friday, this would not get the job done against other, NBA final type teams. But for the Celtics, that we don't think is an NBA final type team this season, this will get the job done. And I don't quite know, man. Listen, for the Celtics, I think we got to go back to the discussion we was making before the season. You know, Brad Stevens getting promoted to president. They bring in a new coach. We wasn't really sure about the team then. Now, I would say this: Jaylen Brown playing a hell of a lot better than I thought he was going to play coming into the season. I knew he was ascending. His trajectory was going up. But I mean, he's playing some ball. It just seems as if Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can't play ball on the same night for whatever reason that is. It seemed to be that way, and they're not built like the 76ers where you have a clear-cut number one guy. The 76ers go through Embiid, no discussion needed. Where the Celtics, it's kind of like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Which one? And then Marcus Smart kind of does his role player things in the defense and the leadership and etc. I must say, man, the Celtics just don't. They look like a play-in tournament team, man. I mean, at best, they look like they'll be in the play-in tournament. Probably, maybe got enough talent to win that, go into the first round, and just get the rock bottom laid on them by the Nets or whoever else. Number one or number two coming out of that tournament. So I'm just not enamored with the Celtics right now. I mean, Adoku, is that how you say the coach name? He gonna have to some gotta happen here, man. Some gotta happen here when we do the lead-ins and our fourth guy is Freedom, Cantor Freedom. Like, I'm not, he played 40 minutes last night. I'm just not. I mean, he did his thing from a rebound standpoint, but 15. I don't know. I'm just not enamored with that. And then, like I said, the 76ers, Embiid came to play. I like the facts that Tobias max contract Harris came out there in 41 minutes. He dropped 25. I would like to see more, but at least he did some. God, leash. And then, like you said, Seth Curry, he's been shooting the ball. I think he's probably been the most consistent number two guy behind Embiid thus far. He came and did what he did. They got the win. And it was, dare I say, it's a good win for the 76ers on the road. They had to go to TD Garden and get this win. That's one of the things I always knock on the 76ers for, is they just play so lackluster and piss poor on the road. You just never know. Good win for them. Boston not really scratching me as a realistic playoff team. Like I said, play-in tournament at best, and we'll see where we go from here. What say you, Jay?
Yeah, yeah. These, to me, it's somewhat shocking that these are two teams that would have the same records, because I look at Philly. I'm looking at Philadelphia. I'm looking at them and I'm saying, how you got you it would appear to me you got the best player in this game. Now I know I would say Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum are 2 and 3, but after that, then Tobias Harris probably 4. But then the depth of the Philadelphia 76ers, and they ain't had much depth last night. That would go to that singular bench point that they came out there with. But the 76ers appear to be deeper. We know, and this ain't no fault of Udoka, but look, Doc Rivers got to give him a little bit of coaching advantage. Got to give him the coaching advantage. We just got to.
Right.
But the 76ers to me, I guess it just feels, especially last year being the #1 seed and all that, and looking like a bona fide contender. For them to be sitting here just middling with the Boston Celtics, it seems wrong. To me, I think they're a clearly better team than the Boston Celtics. And I think for me, Embiid, this is the type. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get 40 and 10 every night, but they need 30 and 10. They need 30 and 10 consistently for them to win without Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons just out here sitting there. We don't know what he's doing. Is he in the mental health protocol? I mean, that's not a joke. That's not a joke. That's just me just saying, like, that's the latest thing I heard about Ben Simmons. Like, he got the mental health stuff going on. That's one thing, but he don't want to see the team mental health people. He want to see the NBA mental health, but he don't want to release the basic information about what he's doing with the NBA. So now the team, it's just a mess. And it's such a mess. I'm going to just say, like, they got an all-star player on their just inactive list. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. If Ben Simmons does not play and they don't get anything for him, then this team, I don't think can. I think the best they do is they win a playoff series. I think they go home in the second round. That's the best they can do. Because as much as I like their depth, Tobias Harris, even though he was really good in this game, he's not the second best player on the championship team. He's just not. So it's going to take, look, Embiid, I thought he should have been an MVP last year. He hasn't quite been at that good. He hasn't quite been having that type of season yet. This is the type of game, this is an MVP type game. He needs to do more of this for Philadelphia to win a playoff series, because they're just more limited without him, without Ben Simmons, and go back a couple years, Jimmy Butler. They just don't have as much. It's going to take some of these younger guys, some of these younger backcourt guys just going to have to step up and just start playing, well above what they're playing right now, whether it's Tyrese Maxey or Shake Milton or whoever it is. They're going to have to start playing better and helping him out. But look, I mean, Boston, man, you said it, and I thought it was a great point, because I don't think either one of us were, like, enamored with the whole idea of saying, you know what, who deserves a promotion? Brad Stevens, coming off one of his, like, in a year where you were saying, like, hey man, the job security, I don't forget the promotion, get him out of here, because this ain't it. But I wasn't on board with that, but I sure wasn't on board with the promotion. Is that, come on, man, like, what? That was arguably his worst season as coach based on the expectations we had. So now he gets a promotion. You get Udoka in there. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care who's coaching the team, Drink. They're not that good. They have Jason Tatum, they have Jalen Brown, and I like Marcus Smart. I think he brings a lot to the table. But you went from Kyrie to Kemba to Schroeder, and you got me wishing that Evan Fournier was still on the team. So, Drink, this depth of theirs is just abysmal. I mean, you look at their bench and what they have to offer. You got Romeo Langford, Aaron Nesmith, Pritchard's okay. What is this? CJ Miles is on the roster now. CJ Miles, that's the protocols for you. They got just the street free agents is making a comeback. Look, Robert Williams didn't play in this game for, it says, personal reasons. I'm gonna leave it alone. But I think you are being a little bit hard on Mr. Freedom, as they say. Leave Mr. Freedom alone. He put up a double-double. That's what he's gonna do. We know he's got his flaws, but in his can of freedom, whatever, he's got a place on it. I think he should play more, to be honest with you. I think he can benefit this team a little bit. We know he's limited defensively, but he can dominate the offensive glass, score in the low post. He can do things. But I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they for them to win at any type of consistent level, they got to play well together, because after that, they just don't have the quality depth that they used to have, like Al Horford, for instance. They don't have, and the point guards, I'm telling you, and this is no disrespect to Dennis Schroeder, but like, you went from Kyrie to Kemba to Dennis Schroeder. Like, and Schroeder just, I don't even know what he's doing. He should have took that big contract the Lakers gave him, because it don't look like you could trade him for a second round pick at this point. This ain't it. So, the final takeaway, I'm amazed that these teams are one game apart. Philly is underwhelming. They're underperforming right now. This is who Boston is. I think you said it correctly. I think they get in the play in 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there, but they going home early.